welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very exciting video to share with you. I am so excited that I finally get to show you my Christmas DIY crafts. These are crafts, not decorating tips, if you know what I'm saying. There's a huge difference. There's a difference in telling you how to decorate with things, and there's a huge difference in a craft that you can reuse and pull out every year, and you don't have to disassemble, that you can pack it away as is and reuse year after year. So I hope you get my drift. There's a huge difference, but this is 4 DIY Christmas crafts in this video. This is part 1. I will have part 2 and part 3 that will follow, and those will also have 4 crafts each. So that is in total 12 different Christmas crafts to share with you and to show you. I am so excited. Like I said, I have been working on these for quite some time now. I believe I started back when I got back from our Disneyland Halloween trip, which was in the beginning of November. So I have been in the Christmas spirit for quite some time, but that is okay because I love Christmas so much, so I don't care one bit that I've been working on this stuff for a while. But I am so excited that I finally get to share with you guys. It has been crazy getting ready for the holidays and all of that fun stuff. But what's really cool about all of these crafts is that they can be changed to your liking. So if you're not a pink and gold lover like myself, you can totally change them to whatever colors you want. So if you're more of the traditional red and green, or if you use more of like the blues and purples, you can change these crafts to fit your decorations and your color schemes, which is really, really cool. So that is awesome because then they are customized pieces that you have in your home that are one of a kind. You can't just buy at Target or Home Goods or any of those things. And after I post these craft DIY videos, definitely stay tuned because I'll be doing a room tour Christmas edition, and you guys can see how I decorated with all of my crafts and all of my decorations from Home Goods and my hauls and things that I've had for many, many years. So stay tuned for those, and that way if you subscribe, you'll be notified when I post those. So definitely subscribe, and if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. I don't think that I have anything else to tell you, so let's just get started with this video. So for the first craft and DIY project for this video, you're going to need a styrofoam ring, a feather boa, I chose pink of course. You're then also going to need spray paint that matches, a hot glue gun, and a hot glue stick. The first step of this DIY project I actually forgot to film, but basically you're just going to spray paint the whole styrofoam ring with the spray paint color that you chose, and then once it is dry, I went in with my hot glue gun, applied a dollop of hot glue to the bottom back side of the ring, and then placed the end of my boa on the hot glue, and then I took some more hot glue and just really went over the top just to make sure that it is secure and in place and it's not going anywhere. And then once that is dry, you're going to take your boa and wrap it around the ring, and definitely make sure that you pull it tightly just so that it does not droop once the wreath is hanging. And so you're just going to kind of make sure that it's in place, and then once you kind of decide where you want your feather and boa to lay on the ring, you're going to then get the end of your boa and apply another dollop of glue to the bottom backside right next to the first part that you glued already. And then I did get a little glue happy on this next part and just kind of added a little too much, and so I kind of had to go in with another glue stick and just hold it since it was kind of burning my fingers, but that was okay. It's definitely not moving, it's definitely not going anywhere. And then once you do that, add a little bit more glue over the top just to really make sure that it is in place, it's not moving, it's not going anywhere. And so these next steps are totally optional. You can leave it just as is, no ribbons, no bows, none of that stuff. It would still be really cute, but I really wanted a fun bow at the bottom of my wreath. And I remember I bought this really cute pink and Tiffany blue snowflake ribbon last year after Christmas at Joann's. And so it is wire edge, which totally makes a difference. And my grandma worked at Hallmark for many, many years, and she is just the master bow maker. And so I asked her if she would make me a bow for my wreath, and she did just that. I love it. I think it is so cute. I think it just adds a very fun touch to the wreath itself. And then I just took a plain pink satin ribbon, tied it to the top, and used that to hang it from my wreath hanger that I got from Dollar Tree. It was green when I bought it. I spray painted it gold just to match all of my other gold stuff. But I love how this came out. I think it's really cute. It's definitely a fun twist to your traditional holiday wreath, and I love looking at it every day that I walk into my room. So for this next DIY craft project, you're going to need a few more supplies than the last one. First, you're going to need a jar of some sort with a twist-on lid. I went with a pickle jar just because it has less writing around it than a mason or ball jar. You're going to need spray paint, a mason jar full of cold water, fabric dye, a half a tablespoon measuring spoon, a artificial fake tree. This one is from Walmart. I found it works really well for this project. fake mica snow, a hot glue gun, some tongs, a plastic knife, a napkin, and a piece of foil. So to begin by cleaning out your jar, first I obviously did not show that step, but once it is dry, I went in and decided to spray paint the lid of my jar, and while that is drying, I poured in my half a tablespoon of fabric dye into the cold water that is in the mason jar. I then went in with my tongs and I took my artificial tree and began to dip dye the tree into the fabric dye and cold water. This step is totally up to you how dark or how light you want your tree color to be. I decided to leave mine in for about a minute to 2 minutes and it came out quite vibrant as you'll see, but if you want a lighter color, definitely take it out a lot sooner than that. And once it is done, I let it sit on my napkin to dry. I put the foil underneath it just so that the dye did not seep down into the napkin and then onto the tablecloth. And then while that is drying, I went in and spray painted the other side of my mason or of my jar lid and I did have the expiration date on the top of the lid that was extremely difficult to cover, so I think I went in and did had to do about 3 or 4 coats of that just to make sure that it was fully covered. And then this is the next day. I went in once my tree was dry and I hot glued it to the lid of the jar, and then once I set that over to kind of set for a second, I poured in a little bit of my mica fake snow into my jar and I twisted on the lid, and I now have a waterless snow globe. I love this so much. I made one of these last year and I absolutely fell in love with it, and I thought it's such an easy and fun craft that almost anybody of any age can do, and I really like how it turned out. The only part that took a lot of time was spray painting the lid and dip dyeing the tree. Obviously pouring in the snow and hot gluing it on did not take any time at all. So it is kind of a lengthier project to do, but it turned out really cute, and I love the fact that you can store it away in a tub with all of your other decorations and you're not going to be worried about the water leaking out onto your other decorations, since I know snow globes can kind of get a little messy. And so I really like how this turned out. Like I said, the one on the left is the one I made last year, and then the one on the right is the one I made this year, and I'm again really happy with how it turned out, and I think it's totally fun and definitely adds that fun little whimsical touch to your holiday decor. So this next DIY craft project is going to be very similar to our boa wreath that we just made a minute ago, and this is actually a project that I started last year and did not finish, so I figured why not show you the rest on camera. But basically you're just going to need a styrofoam cone, a feather boa, some spray paint that matches, and a hot glue gun. And as you can see here, I already spray painted my cone last year and I never actually secured the boa into place, but once you do a nice light coat of paint on your styrofoam, because you don't want to actually melt your styrofoam off, you're going to apply a dollop of glue at the bottom back side of the tree and add some more hot glue over the end just to really make sure it is in place. And then once it is dry, you're going to then wrap your boa upwards around the cone. This is a very easy process. You can just spin the top and continue wrapping the boa all the way around, and then kind of adjust your boa into place and just see how tight you want it around your cone. And then what was really cool is that the end of the boa is actually a ring, so I did not need any more hot glue. I was able to just wrap this little ring around the top of the styrofoam cone, and voila, you now have a feather boa tree. Again, I love this. This is one I had last year and I really like it. I think it's definitely a fun twist on your traditional Christmas tree and just kind of adds that fun, girly, whimsical look to your holiday decor. So for this last DIY for this video, I found this really cool bow kind of cardboard chipboard cutout from Hobby Lobby. I believe it was about $2.99 or $3.99. And then you're also going to need some spray paint and some chunky glitter that matches, some Mod Podge, and a sponge brush. I also forgot to include my Mod Podge sealant spray, but that step is totally optional. I first began by spray painting my bow. I did the fronts and the backs and all of the edges, and definitely make sure that you get the edges as well because you will be able to see them. And then once that step has dried, I went in with my Mod Podge and I gave the front a nice even coat of Mod Podge evenly all around, and then I also did the edges as well, which I forgot to record, but I definitely did that as well. And then once you apply a nice coat of Mod Podge to the front of your bow, you're going to go in with your chunky glitter and you're going to pour it all over. Definitely tap and shake it off just to make sure that you get any of the excess stuff off, and then leave it to dry. Like I said, I did do the edges and I believe I did about 2 coats on the front as well. And then once those coats have dried, I went in with my Mod Podge sealant spray and just decided to seal all the glitter in. You can go in with your Mod Podge and just do it with a sponge brush, but I found that this way works a lot easier and it dries a lot quicker as well. And I really love how this turned out. I think it's so fun and glittery and festive, and it just reminds me of a fun holiday, you know, packaged bow. And what's really cool is you don't have to use this just for the holidays. You could leave this all out all year round, but I really, really like it. And I think it definitely goes well with the rest of my holiday decorations. And so again, so easy, so simple, and very cheap. And that's what I love about this craft. So that is all I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed part 1 of my Christmas DIY crafts. Like I said, part 2 and part 3 will follow fairly shortly after I post this one. So definitely stay tuned for that and subscribe if you're not already. That way you'll be notified when I post it. And I really hope you guys enjoyed. Again, stay tuned for my Christmas tour that I will be posting after my DIY videos. And if you decide to make any of these crafts at all and share them on social media, I would love it if you would hashtag craftingwithlauren. That way I can search the hashtag, go and like your photos, and just love every second of your guys' creations, because I know that they are going to be adorable and so cute and so festive for the holidays. So feel free to tag me and hashtag them as much as you want, because I really want to see them. And I believe that is all I have to tell you. Again, stay tuned for my videos. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys all next time. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you again later.